Hey, I'm back. It's Dr. T here with the mental wealth tree. They say money don't grow on trees, but mental wealth does. And so we are here to gather around information, inspiration, thought-provoking questions that will help us transform from a just barely getting by to a just overflowing and fulfilled emotional life. And so we covered about the situationship on my last post, and I've been trying to post the follow-up to that. So I recorded it, but every time I went to post it, I kept getting all these error messages, and I just checked this morning, and something that I tried to upload like 3 days ago was still just downloading. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Why don't we just scratch that one? And then I started to think I never really covered the why of how I even got to this topic. I kind of covered it briefly, but I want to go a little bit more into detail on why I feel like I need to share what's on my heart regarding the concept of a situationship. So first, what I want to do is give you my definition of what a situationship is, and then I want to share a little bit, maybe three things that happen in a situationship that really breaks my heart and makes me sad when I talk to people who are experiencing this. And I want to participate in helping people really be conscious of how they're moving when it comes to the people that they connect themselves to and what they tolerate in their interactions. So, my definition of a situationship is when a person is involved in a connection that is supposed to be a connection that offers devotion to between those two people, but the desire for devotion is divided in such a way that I agree to subject myself to the figment of intimacy while experiencing the division of having to share the devotion with all these other people. So really, in short, a situationship is being okay with divided devotion in a situation that's supposed to be based on commitment, intimacy, trust, and respect. So, why do I even care? I personally am not in a situationship. I have had relationship turmoil, but I'm not currently in a situationship. So why do I even care if anybody else is? I work with people who are experiencing emotional distress, depression, anxiety, and coming to me for medication saying, Dr. Prelo, I can't think straight. I'm distracted. I'm having anxiety. My body is aching. And I need you to give me some medication to help me with the issue. And then I get to talking to them, and I'm hearing them describe relationships and connections that are toxic to them, and they're not making the connection. They don't see the dots lining up. They don't see how this toxic relationship is doing all these things to them. And so I'm trying to bring light to the fact that I'm not judging anybody for being in that situation, but I do want your eyes to be open to the fact that this is impacting you more than just on a feelings of being rejected or a feeling of not being. It's doing more to you than making you feel like you're not enough. It's doing a whole lot more. So there are three things based on my talking to people who are experiencing this that are happening. Number one, distraction. So I was talking to someone who said, I have been trying to launch this business. I have all the materials, I got all the supplies, it's lined up. I can see it every day when I come in my house. I walk past it. I got started on this thing, and then this relationship happened. And as a result of me being in this relationship with someone who did not share my vision, support my vision, go hard with me on my vision, because they were more concerned about what they can extract from the relationship and what I was doing for them and how I was performing for them. And because of the emotional turmoil that I'm experiencing, when I sit down to do the thing that I lined up and said, this is what I'm going to do, when I sit down to do it, I can't think straight. I can't concentrate, because I'm wondering where this person is, or why they didn't call me, or when they're going to come by, or do I really want them to come by, or is this the last time I'm going to let them come by? And now I'm thinking about all these thoughts, and I'm distracted from the fact that all the materials and things that I need to go after the vision that's going to make my life better, that's going to have me in a better position to experience the richness that life has to offer, that's going to give me an outlet for my creativity, that's going to help me pursue my passions. All of the things that I have are within me and around me, but I can't focus on them because I'm distracted by the toxicity of my connection. So that's the first thing it does. And being distracted for a little bit, it happens to us all. But if I'm looking up from the situation that I'm in, and I realized, like, last year I said I was going to be here, and now it's a whole nother year and I haven't got there, and I can look and see that this relationship is part of the reason why I haven't got there. That type of distraction is detrimental. So the next thing that happens is detraction. And I hear a lot of people who are involved in partial devotion and up today, down tomorrow with the emotion type connections. What I hear from them is, I now feel differently about myself than I did when I entered into this connection. And differently, not in a way where this person has brought out the best in me. They're making me see things in myself that I never saw before. They're making me feel bigger and bolder, and my light is shining brighter as a result of being in relation to them. No, what they're telling me is, I feel like crap. I don't feel like nobody else is going to want me. I feel like I can't do anything right. I feel like no matter how hard I try, I can't please this person. And if I can't make them happy, then how am I going to make somebody else happy when I do find a healthy connection? I just don't feel beautiful. I just don't feel vibrant. I just don't feel alive. And it's because the person that I'm connected to has failed to provide the fulfillment that I was looking for, to provide the reassurance that I was looking for, to provide the reflecting back to me the goodness that I see in myself that I was expecting to get from this connection. So now, instead of adding value to me, instead of adding confidence to me, instead of adding emotional stability and security to me, this relationship is subtracting and detracting that from me. So your situationship is distracting you, it's detracting from you, and it is dysregulating you. And what I mean by dysregulation is that there's a rhythm to your life that is wired inside of you already. Your nervous system knows when it's time to wake up, and it should know when it's time to go to sleep. Your nervous system should be sending signals to you. I'm hungry. I'm full. Your nervous system should be sending signals to you saying, this is a safe place to be. And then sometimes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up and you feel tension in a situation and you're like, okay, this is not a safe situation. So that is the normal function of your nervous system. But when you find yourself in a toxic, tearing down, tormenting relationship. It dysregulates the normal process of you being able to sense emotional safety and security. There's things in our body that say, yes, you can relax around this person because they're going to nurture you. They're going to make you feel safe. They are not going to deceive you. They're not going to mistreat you. They're not going to hurt you. And when you don't have that experience, now your nervous system goes into stress and defense mode, because I don't know when this person is going to pop off. I don't know the next thing they're going to do that's going to emotionally wound me. So now I'm always on the defensive, and I don't consciously think to myself, oh my goodness, I'm watching my back and waiting to see when the next wrong thing happens. All the time. It's not a conscious process. It could be a unconscious or subconscious process of you just feeling tense in your body, of you having headaches and abnormal heartbeats. Little things trigger you to go into panic, and you're thinking, what is going on with me? Why am I feeling this way? It must just be that I've developed anxiety. Or you find yourself depleted of energy where you can't get out the bed and you don't feel like doing anything. That is because your nervous system has gone into a frozen or freeze state. And in the freeze state, your nervous system says, okay, I have had too much stress. I can't take it anymore. So instead of trying to mobilize a response where I can fight or defend myself, we just got to shut this whole thing down. And so now you're thinking that you're experiencing depression that has come out of nowhere, but your nervous system says this toxicity that I'm being exposed to as a result of this relationship in which I'm being distracted, I'm being detracted from, and I'm being disrespected, and I'm being abused, and I'm being taken advantage of, and I'm being deceived. The stress of this unpredictability, the ups and downs, the stress of this, the stress of feeling like I'm going to be emotionally wounded at any moment and having to always live in a survival tense mode is too much. So now you're in shutdown. So you're coming to me, the psychiatrist, saying, I need depression medicine. And I'm listening to you talk about all that you've been through and all that you're going through. And I'm like, baby, no. You probably do need some medicine now because your nervous system is so dysregulated. But you thought that you had to be being beat upside your head, or you thought that you had to be constantly being screamed at, or you thought that you had to have some major life crisis happening for your nervous system to be experiencing toxic stress. So you can't see the connection between the fact that you are not experiencing the emotional wealth that you deserve and you were promised, and this situationship that you have been riding aboard. So this is why I felt like it was important to talk about this. Not because I'm judging people. I'm like, oh, people so messy these days. We all messy. We all got stuff that's getting in the way of us experiencing emotional wealth. But if I see a pattern, I want to point it out so we all can ask ourselves, even if you're not in a divided devotion type of situation in general, you just might be in a situation where the connections that you have are feeding on you more than they are feeding into you. And that is causing dysregulation in your nervous system that is now changing the types of foods that you crave, and you're trying to figure out, well, why can't I lose weight? It's now disrupting that normal circadian sleep rhythm that says wake up this time, go to sleep at this time, and you're wondering why you can't get adequate sleep. And all I'm suggesting is that maybe looking at these connections, these ships that we have boarded and stayed on and rode the waves on. Maybe they're not the ship that's going to take us to the destination that we thought we were going to. And you know what? That's okay. Because when you brought that ticket, you were told, you were given a guarantee, hey, this is what this ship ride is going to be about. And now it's changed. That's all right. Don't beat yourself up. Don't be mad. Don't be saying, how could I be so stupid? Why did I let myself get to this place? No, none of that. Because now you're just prolonging your ride on the ship. Because if you are beating yourself up, you're now doing the detracting that the situationship is also doing. And when you're focusing so much on what I did wrong and why am I doing this to myself, you're a part of the distraction that caused you to lose focus on where you were actually trying to go, because now you're focused on what a bad person you were and look at all the mistakes I made instead of where do we go from here. And so as we continue to talk about this, I think I maybe got like 2 or 3 more episodes that I want to do on this topic. As we continue on this journey, I want you to really write down what you're looking for in a ideal relationship that you deserve. Could be friendship, ideal intimate relationship, whatever it is. Begin to write those things down and then ask yourself, are these things present in my current situation? And if they are not, am I okay with settling for less than what I know is the best that I deserve? Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for growing with me. Hopefully, this will get better and better over time. Until next time, be well.